Hello, friends, and welcome to yet another episode of our special series of holiday movies of Quotables. Today, we are doing the 1983 movie A Christmas Story, a classic told by all. I am Lex, and once again, I am joined by my pal, Ernie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hello, Ernie. It's going well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Actually, I always say I'm excited.
You're always excited.
always
No, that's
excited.
good. I like that
I-
energy. I feel it. And we can-
I want to get because it's funny. I was telling you this. I was pretty interested in this movie because I hadn't watched it in such a long time.
Mhm,
It was weird going into it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna like it.
mhm.
I'm gonna not like But I honestly I enjoyed this movie a lot.
That's where the
But we're-
review comes at the end.
We're gonna review this, but yeah,
But I agree with you in a way. I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but when I
Yeah.
started doing it, I was like, man, I'm like, was this a good decision? Like, I'm kind of not feeling it right now. But then it kicked in, because
yeah.
it's just like it's a traditional Christmas movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's
That's-
not like anything like wild. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's just really just a kid just wanting something for Christmas.
That's the two things I wanted to tell you today before we start.
Mhm.
One of them was for some reason watching this movie I didn't quite get Christmas out of it, if that makes sense. And I'll go into it in further detail later.
Okay.
And also
Interesting.
yeah, and then also I don't know, man, like I didn't I saw it twice
Hmm.
and I didn't get a lot of quotes. Like I remember a lot of things but nothing that was like super quotable, which is kind of like sad because that's like all we do, is quotes.
Don't worry, I got you.
But well,
I got
yeah,
some
but
things.
we'll go into it because I did write a lot of stuff. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. Yes, 1983 Christmas Story. I believe it's set, I want to say like the 50s or no, maybe.
I don't know.
let me
It always
think.
it seems like it's like
It
the
seems
50s,
very
60s.
old. Oh, 1940s. Here it is. In the 1940s, that's what it is.
Yeah, because they have that clock. That's like a 1940s kind of like
Yeah,
50s
yeah.
clock. Or I mean,
So-
sorry, radio.
Yeah, so we start the movie. We got introducing Ralphie as an adult. It's his voice. It's a sweet ass voice for him, right?
Yeah.
He's praising Christmas, how he loves it. And I kind of wrote, like, imagine Christmas back in this time, like
Mhm.
compared to now. Like, I feel like it'd been more satisfying back then. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I still love Christmas. I know you do, but I feel like just like the joy back in the day, like it just looks a lot more sweeter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's like it. Honestly, I
sugar
feel like
cookie.
Christmas is a little bit more encapsulated back in the day
Yeah,
because I felt like people wanted to try to be Christmassy.
they wanted it more.
Yeah, right. No, but like
Uh-huh.
you see that people are like enjoying Christmas.
Yeah,
Like now
yeah.
it feels like people don't really grasp the fact of what Christmas is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, because
it's a little different.
I think we're just we're more spoiled.
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
That's definitely something going on. So yeah, the intro is just showing like everyone just celebrating Christmas, getting really into the spirit. And then it's showing of the kids looking in the toy store window, just super stoked. And it's just those old school toys you just don't see anymore, except for those
Yeah.
classic toys. Like, who the hell wants some of these things? And it's funny because like I said this later, but I'll say it now. Like, there's always like when you're watching something Christmas related, like they always reference like a kid getting a fire truck.
Yeah.
Like
It's like a Tinker toy
Yeah,
kind
it's like
of thing.
what
Yeah.
the Tinker.
Mhm.
Why is a fire truck? It's like it's
Yeah, why is it
it's
such a? Because I think at that time, like there isn't like crazy amounts of like toys, right?
Of
And I
course,
think
yeah.
you're playing pretend. So
Yeah.
a lot of kids want to be firefighters. A lot of
Exactly.
people want to be cops. You know what I mean? Like
And I'll get into another
That's
toy
probably why.
later towards the end. We'll talk about that. So yeah, I love the sweet little sound effect. When they're pointing at all the toys and all that are all in, and there's like it's a
yeah. The little sounds.
and then they get that sweet little song that when Ralphie catches a glimpse at his quote holy grail of Christmas gifts, the Red Ryder 200 shot range model air rifle.
Hell yeah.
And I wonder, that's based off of what Myron wanted in Jingle All the Way. And he wanted that gun. So maybe Ralphie
Johnny,
is Myron.
Johnny to Peter,
No, I'm
Johnny to
just kidding.
Peter.
Johnny to Peter.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, the freaking gun looks freaking cool as hell.
It does look pretty
Did you
cool.
know this is random? But he was a southpaw, so the gun is made for you to shoot righty, but they fixed it for him because he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
so I believe like that was like a big thing that they changed.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even notice.
You know what I wanted to say too,
Mm-hmm.
because like we were watching this movie and like so remember how when I this is one of the other things I wanted to say now that I just thought about it, but this movie when I first saw it I would watch it sporadically. Remember I was telling you and like so it wouldn't be always the full movie. The biggest thing about this thing is that you can watch it because it feels like so episodic. if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's in scenes,
It's
like
in little
so if-
segments,
yeah, So
right?
if you walk in and you get to wherever you are, let's
It's
say,
different.
it's always
Yeah.
like you're like, okay, I'm not lost. It's
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
And that brings me back to that. I mentioned it last time. I don't know which channel it was. Probably like ABC
It's
or something like that.
TBS.
Was it
that
TBS?
shows it 48 hours
They
or something.
yeah. Well,
Or
I thought it was
24.
24. Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours. And like you said, like I'd always just come into it and watch it, and then I'd know exactly what's going on,
Yeah.
then leave, and then come back. It's like it's still going on. Like you're
Yeah.
still in the same. You're
That's
still in the same
crazy.
movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, Ralphie's in all, his fevered blue steel beauties, like he calls it. So we cut to Ralphie laying in bed with that sweet little face, and I took a picture because it just looked like he had a little good jerk off.
What?
There he is. And he makes a lot of sweet little faces.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And it makes it a lot.
You know, that actor. He does one of the movies that I really wanted to do for Christmas. For Christmas, is he directed it?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has a
that.
lot of little things like here
He
and
comes
there.
out an elf as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of.
Which is funny. So Ralphie needs to devise a plan on how he can get this gift by putting it into his parents' subconscious. And remember that feeling of just wanting something so bad,
Hell yeah,
right?
dude,
And just trying to hint at everything and like, I want this. And,
Yeah.
But you knew you weren't gonna get it, but like you'd still try.
You were
know
trying
what
to
I
be
mean?
subtle about it.
I mean,
as
do you have
well.
any
Yeah.
examples of that? Like, that you can remember?
Yeah, dude. I really wanted a PlayStation 1 when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And the way we would subtly do it is we would tell our mom like, oh, this console, like it's out, it's not too expensive if you
that's always the kicker. It's not too expensive.
not
It's
too
like
much,
over $200.
yeah, it's like it's just this, but like consoles felt like they were pretty fucking expensive at the time. you know
Yeah.
what I
Oh
mean?
hell yeah. They still are, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I remember that, and then so I would subtly be like, "Oh yeah, if we get this game, we're gonna do better in school."
Oh,
You make like,
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
That's funny because like you say PlayStation, because I did kind of the same with
about you?
Xbox. I don't remember trying to put it in their subconscious, but I remember getting on Christmas Day. They came up to me and they're like, "Oh, here's your Xbox." It wasn't my parents; it was like my uncle's, and it was literally a box with an X written on it.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
I was so
messed up.
sad.
Did you cry?
I didn't
would've-
cry. I was just fucking
I would've
bummed out. I was like,
cried.
but I was like, whatever. I think I got it like a little, like maybe the next year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, and then there's always times like my brother and I would try to fucking like put stuff behind her backs in the stores and just kind of walk
Yeah.
up all sweet, and Mom's like, "What is that?"
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm still that sucks. The X.
That's fucking great.
Poor kid, dude. Oh god.
It's all right. I got the sex box later.
It's like, oh.
So their mom calls him down, and I love Ralphie's little brother Randy. I don't know, like
dude, he's my
fucking
favorite.
Sweet. He's the best. He's
I'm so
he's
glad.
super cute.
Yeah.
His little voice, and they're all fighting all sweet. He's all, "Oh, Ralphie, I got your furs!" And it's just like his voice, and their voice. All these kids' voices are like, again, like they're just loud and just like scream
They're
and like scream
sweet,
out like,
yeah.
"Ah!" It's so great.
It's such a kid, they're kids.
And then Ralphie runs to his mom's room, puts the Red Ryder ad in his mom's magazine. Such a genius. I would have never thought.
Did you?
That.
This is random.
Hmm.
You saw the two twin beds right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, like I Love Lucy and all
That's
those like the
true,
shows,
yeah,
they never let you see that they slept together, which is
That's
kind of weird
true.
for this movie to do that.
because it's made. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
made
but
in
it's
the 80s.
like I guess they're trying to keep that kind of.
Traditional.
like
Maybe
if
that's
it's a
like just a
tradition.
sense. I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that. What a trip.
Yeah, it's just a random trip,
Um,
and he puts it on his mom's.
I know, puts it on there.
That is very smart, dude.
That's super smart.
Honestly.
Like imagine she's going through her magazine, like the fuck, like this
Yeah.
ad like random. So we enter the old man and the mom. And they're referred to as Mother Parker and the old man Parker. So I'm gonna refer to them as mom and old man.
No, that's
Um,
awesome.
She's like, "Ralphie on the double."
On the
And
devil, yeah.
I love the dad. Like the dad is great. He's like, he's talking to his mom about some
Yeah.
kid swallowing a yo-yo, and then the mom's like, "The silliest things in the newspapers." And the dad's like, "What do you mean silly?" "Well, that's real news, not like all that politics swat." I love the dad. Like the shit he just says
Yeah,
are
he
great.
says, yeah.
And he's going off this crossword. We're trying to win. He mentions like winning like 500,000.
500,000
No,
bucks or-
50,000 bucks. I think it was. I'm gonna start playing some crosswords. So that's really
Honestly,
the prize.
I know.
And he's trying to figure it out all sweet. So we
He's
come
like,
back.
what's a 4-letter word for what?
I know. Then Ralphie's at the table. He's trying to think of a way to drop that BB gun hit, and he goes, he's all, "I saw some grizzly bears outside of my friend's candy store or some shit." And they're like looking at him all weird, and you totally like no, that didn't get their attention,
happen.
right?
But it's funny because throughout this, we're not gonna do this, but the subtle voice in the back, which is him as an
His
older
narrator.
person.
Well, yeah,
The narrator.
he has a lot of quotes, and he was like, "They looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears." That's old Ralphie. I'll refer to him as old Ralphie. So Ralphie tries to change the subject by asking what he wants for Christmas, and the old man responds, "A new furnace." And the little brother laughs also. He's like, all fucking sweet. And I love this. Like, it's so weird because like the furnace is so emphasized in this movie. Like, and old Ralphie goes, "My old man was one of the most feared furnace fighters." Like, what does that mean? This fucker's down there, just like, ah!
Yeah, and then you could hear him. And
He's
like,
always it's gibberish. He's just speaking straight gibberish.
Well, I'll tell you why. Actually, this is a little another fact.
Oh,
So he was supposed to be cursing. I think he had like a ton of curse words that he was supposed to say, but they wanted this to be kind of a family-friendly movie to show.
yeah, of course.
So that's why he
starts to, because like later on you hear Ralphie doing the same thing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's the same reason, which I like. I'm not a big, like, even though we curse a lot, like, I'm not a big person of that, like, in movies.
Yeah.
And I like that they did that. It's like Home Alone. They do that
unless
too.
it's done or played for comedy, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, the old man leaves because he's late, and that's when Mom asks Ralphie what he wants for Christmas when he blurts out the rifle, and then the classic line is said, "You'll shoot your eye out." And that will haunt him for the rest of the day. But then he tries to play it off again by saying the homie Flick is getting one, and he just wants Tinker toys. You know, the fucking Tinker's back. And then fucking the mom's like, "Randy, will you eat? They're starving people in China." He's like, "Oh no." And my dad would say that shit to me a lot. Like,
Same.
and
My mother said Africa to me, though.
Africa, yeah. My dad would say China. I would figure maybe it was from the movie. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
but, you know, Randy's all bummed. But
yeah,
it's such a trip to me how people disliked eating that much. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
they disliked it, like how, like I get, you know, when kids don't like to take baths.
Yeah.
But eating, like, fuck, dude, you know.
No, yeah.
But I get it. Like I don't get it. Like I ate, but I didn't eat a lot. You know what I mean? Like, and I had a cousin actually who would cry every time he had to eat.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and
like the kid has a great meal in front of him.
Exactly. It's so
like,
good. He's like,
whatever.
"Aww."
Yeah.
But it's like it's weird. And then but that China, that's people starving in China,
Yeah,
but there's people starving everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
of
you know.
course. It's just funny the China one. I like when I heard that I was like, was this a thing back in the day?
Dude,
you know
it
what
was. I think it was. So we go back to Ralphie, like kind of thinking about his fucking gun again, and he has that sweet version of the burglars. And then you know, Ralphie comes with that sweet costume. You know, he's like, "Don't worry, Dad, as long as I got old blue." He's, like, he's doing that little spitting thing.
He's spitting.
And it's that sweet little song voice. Dun, dun, dun. The burger's like, "Oh no, it's old blue. Oh no," and they go, "Cheese it, boys." I'm like, I don't know what that means. Cheese it, boys.
I think like freaking scatter, basically run.
I don't know.
That's what I don't even know.
It's a little weird.
And then he's got the dead eye.
That's how the old man says that. And then fucking they all leave, and he's like, "Adios, Bart. But when you come back, you'll be pushing daisies." He's like, and does that fucking thing again.
Spits.
So the old man comes back in, pissed off that his car won't start, right? And then old man Ralphie says, "Some men are Baptist, others Catholic. My father was an Oldsmobile man." And then he's like, "That son of a bitch would freeze up in the middle of the equator." I wonder if fucking Matilda's dad's holding that car.
Oh, dang.
But then he stops and hears the furnace, and he goes, "It's a clinker." Like, I don't know. It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I don't think I've seen a furnace. Like, I mean,
so
maybe I
either.
have, but you know, but I've never, you know, we never owned one. It's all water heaters now, but it's just so funny. Like,
yeah, I
this
think furnace is like for like old homes. And
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure.
That's like
And then-
I've never seen one in person.
so that's when he goes down there and starts fucking fighting it. But you hear him before he starts doing the gibberish. He goes, "For God's sake, open up the damper, will ya? Who the hell turned it all the way down again?"
And then
he's
the
just, with the gibberish he starts saying, and the family's just like listening in shock, right?
The mom is the one that closed it.
Yeah, she
That's
goes,
why,
yeah, and then he gets all freaked out. That fucker, dude, he's running that furnace. So we cut to the kids getting ready for school. I love how she's putting on Randy. He's like super geared up, right?
Oh, dude, Randy, and he's all, "Mom, I can't put my arms down."
He's like, "Can't put my arms down." You know, his little scream. And she's like, "Put your arms down when you get to school." He's like, "Ah!" And then she fucking pushes his ass out.
Doesn't it? She starts
She
pushing
tries
his
it.
arms down, and
Yeah,
then they
that's
go
what she
back
says.
up.
Yeah, she's like, "Just put him down when you get to school." He's like, "Ah!" He does that street scream,
Dude,
sweet scream.
Well, may I say something? This is
Of course.
going into it, but dude, going into it, like they get out of the house right after all that. There's a little bit more into it, but they go out of the house to the snow, dude. I like the snow, but I freaking would hate living in the snow.
Living in the snow.
It just sucks. Like the way they have to like kind of get to school and the way they have to dress.
Well, imagine how cold our house is. That furnace ain't
I'm
working.
saying, it's not even working, dude. Like,
Yeah, so you see him leaving. You still hear the dad, you know, with the fight in the furnace. Randy still's crying, and we get intro to Ralphie's friends. And then, he goes up to Flick, hey, Flick, what are you doing? Or not. Yeah, and he's like, what does it look like I'm doing? Picking goobers. And then fucking Schwartz comes. Hey, listen, smart ass. I asked my old man sticking your tongue to metal poles in winter, and he says he'll freeze right to the pole, just like I told you. Yeah. And then fucking, I always thought Schwartz was a girl for some reason. I don't know what it was. Yeah, it was weird.
It's funny now. I didn't catch that.
And then fucking Randy trying to chase. Come on, guys, wait up. Come on, guys. Ralphie. And then he gets down. He goes, I can't get up. I can't get up. Ralphie, help me. That poor little guy, dude. He's so cute. And then, Ralphie doesn't like, he's all embarrassed.
Yeah.
So we cut to the kids entering their classroom. And they're putting like weird teeth in as a prank.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really get why they do that. It's kind of like, I guess maybe it's just an old classic prank.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like they all
just planned it and just put it in the machine.
I like that though, because like all the kids are friends,
Yeah,
they all know each other.
Because it's a smaller classroom.
Yeah.
So Miss Shields, which is the teacher, takes him in her hand like nothing, puts him in that freaking little drawer of pranks, right?
Bunch of
all
pranks
that stuff's in there.
That looks cool. Like
I know, it's all the little chattering teeth, of course.
Yeah.
So now we cut to them outside at recess in front of a flagpole. And then fucking Flick is like, you're full of beans. So is your old man. Obviously, Schwartz is still hassling, about the tongue on the pole. And I love it's so weird because like I love how these kids take the dares so seriously. Like,
yeah, dude.
He's like, I double dare you. And they're like, oh, and he's like, well, I double dog dare you. And then they're like, oh, now it's more serious.
And then he goes, I
triple dog. And everyone's like, oh shit.
He's like, he has to do it.
He has to do it, dude. Triple dog. And she's like, go on, smart ass, and do it. Like,
they cut a hole in that pole, and so when he puts his tongue in, it's in a hole, and like they have like something sucking it.
That's really? How they is that what it is? I thought it was a fake tongue.
No, that's how they made it look like it's like getting sucked in or whatever.
Oh, interesting. So Flick does it because of the triple dog dare code. To his surprise, his tongue gets stuck. He goes, stuck. He starts fucking whimpering like, come back, Ralphie, come back. And then he's like, but the bell rings. Come back. And they all take off. So sad, bro. They're back in the classroom. The teacher's asking where Flick is, and that's when the girl points and they see him flailing his arms all crazy. He's like, you can just picture his voice like,
it's just sad.
Firefighters come and the cops come, and that one random kid's like, holy cow, it's the fire department. Wow, it's the cops. Ralphie, and then they think they're super in trouble, but they don't really get in trouble for it. But obviously the teacher knows it was them.
It's kind of cool because the kid doesn't tell on him. That's like
he doesn't. Code. But like, but obviously she knew it. They were the only kids that still sat down, like when they're fucking all the kids were looking, and then she's like, they return all, Flick returns all embarrassed, his tongue's bandaged, walk of shame for that poor guy. And then, the teacher's just like, those who did it know they're blaming. Ralphie's looking around all sweet like someone else. Oh, they're like looking around, and Schwartz is kind of laughing. And then Ralphie's like, adults always say that, but kids know darn well it was always better not to get caught. And he's right. I remember doing shit like that, like trying to play it off all cool. Like, oh, fuck, I don't know. It's like, you're the only person here. I still do that. So then the teacher assigns them a writing assignment. What do you want for Christmas? This is Ralphie's chance to shine. He is stoked and believe he's going to try to persuade her with his eloquent essay. So the kids, we cut to this mysterious figure walking behind a gate to where the kids are walking and talking about Flick's tongue. And Flick's all modest. No, I never felt a thing. It just caught me off guard. And then Schwartz is like,
sure you were bawling?
He's like, I never bawled. Flicker's screaming out. And then we hear an evil. And then we hear an evil chuckle, and it's Scut Farkas, ugly ass dude, right? Pushes poor Randy down, and then he screams, and the kids run. And this little sweet henchman comes out, fucking Grover Dill. And then older Ralphie says, Grover Dill, Farkas is crummy little toady. And like, what names? Scut and Grover. That's like, those are like bully names. Like, that's your name, you're gonna be a bully. I love like little Grover, the way he's dressed up. Like he's like dressed up like a little greaser, right?
And then the little line he says, he's like, and poor Randy was like a slug.
Laying there like a slug.
Like a slug. And he's just like,
it was his only defense. He's just sitting there. Poor dude can't even move, bro. That's not his defense.
That's so funny,
that's
dude.
Great.
Freaking kid,
and then Schwartz gets caught, and he's like, say, Uncle. He's, oh, God! He kind of deserves it after what he did to Flick.
That's true.
Grover roars and the kid Grover. It's like and the kids.
Why does he go?
I don't know. And then they get scared and they just take it.
It's so weird, dude.
And I love how like the bullies are like punching each other, like
Yeah.
And then like one of them they start hitting harder and harder. And he's like, oh man. Oh shit! It's fucking
They're just like little older men.
sweet, right? And like, do these kids even go to school? Like a lot
know,
of
dude,
every
yeah.
time they show them, it's like they're never like they're always just
They were
outside
just
waiting,
out there,
right?
yeah.
So we cut to Ralphie writing his essay. So he's putting down like I think everyone should have a BB gun for Christmas. I don't think a football is a good Christmas present. And again, like the fire truck I referred to, like a football is always something like that too.
Yeah, dude.
How about a nice football or like a fire truck?
I wanted to ask you that. Like, is that a thing? Like, I don't remember getting a football or like balls for.
I mean, I guess since more like
you know what
back
I mean?
back in the day, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm glad I was part of this, like the end of that era, is like getting to play outside more.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so that was a thing. You know, hey, I mean, I don't know about fire trucks, but football, hey, obviously you're gonna take it outside to play.
Yeah. Because I
That'd be
remember getting
something.
balls, but like randomly bought, never like for Christmas or
Wonder balls.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was funny that you said that. I feel like, and then like at this time, like probably footballs were made like way crazier than they
Oh,
are
of
now,
course,
right? Like,
yeah.
with real big skin.
Like imagine those kids
Just
back then getting getting like a Nerf football.
I know those are cool as heck, dude. Honestly,
yeah.
Nerf balls, but they always had like some random ass chewing on it.
I know, right? So the old man arrives, saying that he won. A gang of dogs come to attack him, like always. The Bumpus Hounds. And he's like, the fucking old man Ralphie's like, the Bumpus Hounds, they ignored every human being on earth but my old man.
Yeah.
And I love the dogs running in all sweet
like,
and they take off. He's like, yeah, yeah. And then the old man proceeds to tell his family that he won a grand prize and he's going to get, he's all, tonight, a hot damn tonight. He's just dancing all sweet, right?
What about the dog's freaking like tail? It's
Oh,
like caught
well,
to
yeah.
the door, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then it's caught in the door and he has to let it out, right? It's so sad.
Yeah.
And then well, he does it after because
Yeah.
he goes out there. He goes, he's so happy. He goes, "Come on, have a chew, fellas, on me." He sticks his leg out there and he just like shakes it a little bit, and then he puts it in. That's when the ear gets stuck.
I mean, the
but it's
tail.
so great that he
Yeah.
does that. He's all, "Serves you right, you smelly buggers."
Yeah.
So
It's
we
the
got
neighbors' dogs. Why are they always
the
out?
bunk is because he says like hillbilly neighbor. I guess it's like their hillbilly.
okay.
That's what he says. The old man
'cause-
Ralphie does.
Because like when I saw it too, I was like, why the fuck? Why
It's
the
funny
fucking
'cause, like,
dogs' neighbors always out?
I have like, I don't know if I want to say hillbilly, but they're like fucking, they're on something.
yeah.
Neighbors and their dogs are always getting out. These
Oh my
pit
God,
bulls,
dude,
bro,
yeah.
walking around like they're super nice dogs, but like
yeah.
you know,
No, you don't want them out because they might
yeah,
get
exactly.
hit and
You know, if
stuff,
they see
yeah.
another dog, shoot,
Yeah, they're
game
out
over.
of, yeah.
So anyway, we cut to dinner and Randy's still playing with his food, and old man's like,
Yeah.
the old man's like, "You stop playing with your food, or I'll give you something to cry about." And you know, this poor mom works so hard for her family because every time she's about to take a bite, like the dad
Something
asks her
comes up,
something,
yeah.
and then Ralphie asks her something. He's like, "My mother hasn't had a hot meal for herself in 15 years." I'm like,
That's so sad.
hey,
yeah.
moms, you know, they be
Yeah.
like that.
I love this part of the movie.
Me
This
too.
is the part I love about the mom so much.
I know. And then
this is awesome.
Randy's like, "Meatloaf, double beef load. I hate meatloaf." I'm gonna pause here. What are your thoughts on meatloaf? Because it is a strange food, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to know
Yeah.
like your thoughts because I know a lot of people don't fuck with the meatloaf. But what do you? What do you
That's
think?
crazy. I'm glad that you asked, and I don't believe I've ever had meatloaf.
What?
Yeah. Because like no one's ever made it. Like I mean, I'm Hispanic, and like no one ever makes that.
Really?
I
I guess that's
You
right.
know what I mean? And I kind of wish someone did. Like, there's like there's dicks. There's like
I bet you had plenty of
yeah,
that.
but a little dick. No, there's like dishes that like I would love to have.
Uh-huh.
Like I've never had like a tuna casserole, you know, like things like that. But
Tuna
the freaking
casserole.
meatloaf that he's eating looks good.
It looks good.
It
right?
looks really good.
So
I don't know.
me, I mean, growing up, you know, I wouldn't say single father because he had a girlfriend, but
Yeah.
you know, he was, you know,
Still
just a
single
dad,
father,
you know,
yeah.
trying to take care of his kids.
So he made
He'd only
meatloaf?
have like 3 different meals that he's like special deals, like steaks,
That's fine. Okay.
weenies and eggs, and then and fucking meatloaf.
Really?
And so it was good, and we liked it because you know, get it with the mashed potatoes and everything.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
combination is bomb.
It sounds
And
good
he-
and it looks good.
But he would like bombard it with like ketchup. But some reason it
Oh,
made it taste
wow,
really
okay.
good. And I've had meatloaf again when at Boston Market, name drop.
Mm,
And it was okay. It wasn't as good, but you need that sauce to really add the flavor.
really.
So it is a weird meal.
What does it taste like? I mean,
It just tastes like meat.
okay,
It's
yeah.
literally just meat.
That's funny you say freaking Boston. Isn't that place all
But I know.
closed? Like none of them
I know
survived.
because you know there was a meatloaf outbreak. No,
Yeah.
like, but if you make it like that little burntness, like just a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you get that. It's good. I
Like,
never
kinda want
say
some.
I'd crave it though. Like I never would be
Mm.
like, oh, I just need that meatloaf my dad makes. Like
Mm.
he's like, all right, he's making it. Like hell, like let's eat.
Yeah, let's
That's
eat
all
it,
we got.
yeah.
That's all we got. Because then
That's how I
we'll
feel
get
with-
donuts in the morning. That's it.
Yeah, that's how I feel with some food. Like it's like you don't want it, but it's like if it's there, you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's funny because weenie and eggs were the thing that my mom would make,
Meat and eggs,
and then I'd be like, I'm like, I don't want that, but I'm like, I'll eat it. And it was
Right?
good.
Yeah, it was good.
was good.
But you get tired of it after
You
a
get
while,
tired,
right?
of course.
But I mean, you can't pick and choose. All right.
Now I'm hungry.
So let's get back. And then the old man, he's still mad about his Randy not eating. He's like, "Where's my screwdriver and my plumber helper? I'll open his mouth and I'll shove it in." And this is when the mom, interferes. She has a sweet way of getting him to eat.
Mhm.
She's like, "Randy, how do the little piggies go?" He's like, he's like, "Show me how the piggies eat."
He's like, this is yeah. He's like, this is your trough.
Yeah,
and
and then he
he's like, show
starts,
me
like,
how the piggies
munching
eat.
it.
He's like, and he starts
Rubbing it. He's
eating.
like, that freaking laugh.
Yeah, it's a little laugh. Dude, they're so cute, dude. That is a mother right there.
That's
you
a
know what I
mother,
mean?
right?
That is a mother.
And she's
I love
laughing.
that.
Show me
Yes.
how the piggies eat,
That's
Randy.
so cute, dude.
He's
And then the dad looks at them like, what the hell's
Ralphie
wrong with
and
them?
the dad are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
that's funny.
and then there's a knock at the door. Could it be the old man's prize? And he folds his freaking newspaper all sweet, right? And he drops it.
Yeah.
And then and then he goes in. I like him. He's signing for the pack. He's like, well, what is it? The guy's like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, what's in it? And the guy's like, he does like that
Yeah, he
gesture with
goes
his
like,
arms.
I don't know.
I don't know. And, that sweet song is hyping up this crate, right? He's
Yeah.
opening. He goes, look, fragile.
Fragile. It's
all-
Italian.
She's like, I think that says fragile.
Fragile.
That's like something I hear a lot.
Dude, it's funny.
My mom used that quote a lot.
I would have
funny
started
enough.
saying that fragile.
Fragile.
It's
And
Italian.
then, so they open it, and he's digging through it, and it's revealed to be a lamp leg. What a prize! And I love how Ralphie rubs it all sweet. He's like, yeah, statue. He's all
Yeah,
horny.
yeah.
Like, never seen that. And like the narrator describes it, electric sex living in my
Electric.
eyes. So the old
Yeah,
man, he what? Go ahead.
No, the little kid, dude, he's a little hornball already.
Right, dude. When you're introduced to new things like that,
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know
The
what that
old-
noise was. What the fuck was
so the old man loves it, obviously. Takes it to the front window. The mom is freaking out. So like I know this happens a lot, like in these situations. Like,
Yeah.
if you got something like that, what would your significant other do in that situation?
She'd probably do the same thing that she did, but I think with my significant other, she like actually says something.
Yeah,
I think with her, she
exactly.
didn't
Mine
say
too.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would say like the mom's just kind of like hiding and like.
But
like,
but eventually you see what.
but
happens, right?
back in those days it was like traditional. Like
the
woman,
man
it's,
owns the
it's
house
weird,
kind of
right?
thing,
It's,
yeah.
and you see that a lot in this movie.
It's crazy, and I think like the thing about this like little like lamp, I don't think it's about the leg and being it's sexy. That's why the dad wants it there. It's that he won a prize for being so good at something, and he wants to show it off.
Yeah, and the
but she
mom's
understands it as like this is an ugly ass like leg
it's
lamp.
super ugly. Like
Yeah.
and it is ugly.
It
Like,
is
I don't
ugly,
really
yeah.
love that shit, but he loves it.
It's crazy how much like the lamp sells for that like went like boomed after
Yeah,
the movie,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
They have little
everyone has
souvenirs
that.
everywhere.
It's like
Um,
crazy.
So he tries to plug it in, but he has all those plugs plugged in, right? And outlets still look like that. Unfortunately, they have little organizers, but he's like, it reminds me of the 4th of July, the
Yeah.
old man. And then he goes outside of the street, and he's fascinated. The mom's super
Yeah.
embarrassed when the people start walking by, and this guy goes,
And the guy comes in.
"Parker, what is that?" He's like, "Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy?" He's all, "Yeah, but what is that?" He's all, "It's a major award.
Yeah.
I won it." He's like, "Oh damn, you said you won it." Oh, it's so good. But he's like, he's so proud of this that he won this, and I understand because like I don't win stuff often. You know what I mean?
No,
you know,
we
a lot
don't.
of you don't win stuff. But
Yeah,
when you win
yeah.
something, like no matter what it is, you're kind of just like, hell yeah, I
You're
won
proud
it.
of
Like,
it,
I'm
yeah.
proud. Like hell yeah, I did this.
I think the
It's like-
biggest reward we've gotten is like we got secured the PS5. You know how
Shoot, right?
great of a reward that was?
I mean, I won lotto tickets too. Lotto tickets,
Yeah.
even if it's a free
Oh,
ticket. I'm
yeah,
like,
when
yes,
even if it's $1,
exactly, bro.
you're like, yeah. You remember what? This is side note.
yes,
When we
yes.
went to Vegas, I put in like 20 bucks or something like that, and I made $100 out of
That's
it.
right.
Dude.
Yeah.
I freaking like, dude, I felt ecstatic.
Oh yeah, it's great.
and
And that's the problem. You feel so high on that energy.
and you want to keep,
keep
going.
going.
Yeah, and
but
that's how you
don't.
lose money.
Exactly. So the mom tries to distract the kids to Little Orphan Annie, which they go to listen to, and we'll be back to that. It's just a little brief mention.
Little
early
Orphan
in the
Annie,
movie,
this show, stupid show.
yeah.
There's only one thing that would put me away.
I know. From
Okay.
electric sex. So we cut to the kids being chased by Scott and Grover with the time sped up, and little Randy trailing behind them. And then we cut to the classroom. This scene happens a lot, where they're always like, like
Yeah,
running,
yeah, yeah.
like every time they're running to school or running back home. It's
Yeah.
always that scene
Like
is in
little
there.
thing, yeah.
So we cut to the classroom where Ralphie's excited to turn his paper in, where he fantasizes yet again. You know, the teacher's failing everyone's paper until she gets Ralphie's, where she falls in love with it, right? And he's like, listen to the sentence. A red rider be begun with a compass and a stock, and the thing which tells time. Poetry. Pure poetry. And all the kids start cheering for him. And, you know, she writes his name on the board with an A+, and they're all like holding him off. He's blowing kisses. And then cuts back to reality. And she tells him to take a seat. You know, and he's still in awe. And he's like looking at it, like shaking his head. He's like this teacher probably is like, does this guy have a crush on me or some shit? So after that, he turns his paper, and we cut to the family house, and then going. So we cut to the family house, and then they're going out for a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the mom, I love this. I love this scene too. But mom goes back in real fast. She's like, he's like, "We're gonna miss all the good trees," and she turns off the lamp. She's like, "Don't want to waste electricity." Yeah. But it's funny because all these other lights in the house are on, right?
It's just she just doesn't want that freaking. She just doesn't want that
thing showing.
That thing showing, yeah.
Or maybe they know to steal it. I don't know. So we cut to the tree lot, and I love this scene. Like he's like, it's such a great scene.
And look what he says about the dad.
The salesman is just sweet. Yeah, he's like, now you ain't gonna find no better tree than this here tree. This tree is built to last. Ain't no needles falling off this tree here. And he's like slamming it, but they're all falling, right? He moves on. He just fucking throws it. And he goes, okay, now here's a tree. This here is a tree. And they're like, it's a little skimpy in the front. He's like, well, you just put it in the corner. And the old man's like, haven't you got a big tree? And he's like, yeah, hell, this ain't no tree. And he does it again. He's like, now there is a tree. This is a tree. And and then the dad, like he gets like that sweet, like you say, like he's like thinking about it. And then the old man Ralphie's like, the old man loved to haggle as much as an Arab trader. And he gets in his, the chair.
He tells him about the plastic tree.
Yeah, right? He's like, maybe we get one of those nice plastic trees. And the guy's like, oh, like he's like super disgusted by it. And he's like, I'll knock off $2 because you look like a man who knows his trees, right? And he's like, and he goes,
he's like, you got a deal.
And then he says, I'll throw in some rope and tie it in your car for you. And then that's when he's like, deal. Like, he's all excited, right?
That's so funny. I love haggling, dude.
I love that shit.
You don't haggle like that anymore. Not anywhere around here.
So we cut to the family in the car screaming, Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle. And then the dad looks all bummed, like annoyed. Good old fashioned joy, right? And then the car blows out. But the old man gets excited. He goes, 4 minutes. Time me. This dude's always.
He said he was like a NASCAR.
He's always got. It's funny. He's always got. So far, he's the furnace fighter. Yeah. He's a like he wants to be a pit driver for NASCAR. He's got the what else is he? A haggler.
Like, haggler.
He just loves to be in competition. Like
I wanted to say this because I truly do believe this. Well, at least for me, in my opinion. Like, with the dad, like you're seeing this through the eyes of Ralphie. So it's him as a young kid. And he's seeing his father like as a figure of like authority and like all the stuff that he's kind of choosing. I think that's one of the major reasons that he kind of chooses to have he really wants a gun. Yeah. So he can feel as powerful as his father. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be like a thing where he doesn't feel as weak as he does now. And like that I think that's why he wants that rifle so bad.
Interesting.
And I thought I was thinking about that. I was like,
well, and your point, it's true because the mom suggests Ralphie to go help and he gets like excited about it.
Yeah,
like,
because
he's like, what? Like he just wants to help his dad. Yeah, he doesn't want to fuck it up. So the old man seems confused that he's out there, but he accepts the help anyway. He's like, "Come on, rat trap, hold it like this," and then and he's like, "No, like this," and he looks super nervous because he doesn't want to screw up his chance of helping his pop. And that's when, but it's funny because so the old man like lifts his arms and knocks the bowl of bolts out of Ralphie's hand, and they go flying. But it's it was his fault, like the old man's fault, right?
Yeah, because of the way he placed it. But
and but I mean, obviously he's gonna name.
They make it look all dramatic.
I know, and then that's when Ralphie goes, "Oh, fudge!" He's like, "But I didn't say fudge. The big one, the FF -- word. Like I don't even know what that means. The queen mother of dirty words." Yeah. So the old man's pissed. He's in for it. Old man comes in the car and he's like, but it's funny, before he goes in the car, he looks at his watch and goes, "Ah!" Like it's like he's mad, but he tells Ralphie to go inside because he's mad at him, obviously. And then the mom goes, 8 minutes. And he's like, and that's when he tells her, like, "Do you know what your son just said?" And that's when she screams in terror. "Ah!" So we cut to Ralphie with a bar of soap in his mouth. So it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to me how that was a thing, right? Like having a soap in your mouth is supposed to clean the bad words out. Like it's weird. Like did they Did you ever get that treatment?
I didn't, but I remember when I was a kid, my mom would say she was
She'd just
going
beat
to,
your
but
ass.
never
I'm just
did it.
kidding.
No, no.
The traditional. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, yeah. She would say she wanted the traditional ass
I
beating.
know.
No, she would say she wanted to, but she never did. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
and then me and my brothers were pretty sneaky about like trying to like do bad words. You know
Say
what I
bad
mean?
words.
Like,
it's true, yeah. Do bad words like doing drugs.
like that.
You want to do some bad words
Yeah,
today?
'cause, like,
yeah, I
You know,
know,
when you're
'cause
a kid, you
feel like oh,
Yeah, you feel
ooh,
powerful
You hear
saying,
that? I
like-
just said that.
and then now that you're like an adult, like you don't, you hardly say. I
Exactly.
mean, I guess we.
And now it's funny because like we're saying this, but now you're like when you're watching your movies, you don't like when it's cussing a lot, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's weird, right? We
Yeah.
went backwards a little bit. So old man Ralphie's talking about how he's a connoisseur of sealed soaps by now, and Mom asked where he learned that word, and he blamed Schwartz because he didn't want to say his dad. See, like like you said, he doesn't want to disappoint his dad, like.
And so she called.
Yeah, and I love this combo between the mom and Schwartz's mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's like, hey, do you know what Ralphie just said? He's like, what? And she's like, she says it all like, all
So,
secret.
do you know where she heard
and
that
then
from?
both of the moms like, you hear on the other line go, no, not that. And he's like, do you know where she learned it from? And he's like,
Your
probably
dad.
his father.
Yeah.
Like, you hear her say it. And he goes, no, he heard it from your son. What?
And then you hear her like marching.
beating his ass, dude.
You
It's
hear her
like- and then
marching to his room, and she's like, "What is he
Just
called?
yelling.
What is
She's
it? I forget the name. The kid's name. He's like something,
Schwartz.
and he goes, "Ah!"
He's like, what did I do, Mom? What did I do?
He's
Just
getting
getting
his ass beat, dude.
It's fucking great. And the mom's just like, ugh, like hangs up.
She's like yelling at.
That's so good. And again, gibberish, the gibberish,
Yeah, so
right?
she's saying bad words.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of where we.
So, and it's funny because, the parents aren't blaming themselves, they're cursing. So the mom is telling Ralphie to go straight to bed, no comic books. And I love how off screen, we are, kind of have to sense the face Ralphie gives his mom. Cause like, she's like, don't you give me that look. You're going to get it. Like you don't
Oh,
see
yeah.
him on the screen, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine just looking back like all snarky, like, cause shit, I used to do that. And she tries to soap for herself. To her surprise, it's nasty. So we cut to Ralphie in bed crying, and then he has another vision of him being blind because of all the soap he has consumed. And I love this.
I love this. He comes back.
He
yeah.
comes all sweet, blind, right? And then all the family gets all sad. It's like, what brought you to this lowly state? And he's like, but it's funny because he has this little change, cup for change, right? Like, and then he's like, soap poisoning. And the family's like, oh,
No.
how could we do
Do
it?
it.
And then Ralphie's like, I'll manage to get along somehow. This little shit smiles off. Like he got a sweet revenge in the end, right? But it's him who's kind of really screwed because he's blind. So we cut back to the bullies chasing the gang yet again. And then we cut back to the classroom. Kids are giving Miss Shields a gift, with Ralphie giving her the biggest one, trying to sway her on that essay. That swink wink he gives her, right? Probably
it's
thinks,
like all-
like I said,
yeah,
probably
like,
thinks he
yeah.
has a little crush on her. And like he's like weird about getting to see it again. So then we come back again. They're going back home, and that's when they cut to the bullies again. Like I said, it happens a lot between this movie.
This is
And
random, but like every time he's like in front of like the desk with her, he like waits a little bit, and then
Yeah.
she always tells him,
To
You
go
can
to
have a
you
seat
can have a seat now. So after the bullies chase him home, we cut to Ralphie getting home to get his secret decoder pen for little orphan Annie. And he doesn't. This dude doesn't even bring in the rest of the mail. He just gets his thing right and just runs in. Little dick. So he's stoked that he got his honor and benefits.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I remember like again while talking about like prizes. Like you feel like you're exclusive. Like he says himself like I'm exclusive to this club that we just got
Yeah.
this. And I feel like we've done shit like that. Like with Cracker Jacks. Remember Cracker Jacks? You get those
Yeah,
prizes
dude,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Dude, I remember. I don't know. This is random. When you used to get cereal boxes, you can cut out the back of them and
Yeah,
kind
the
of collect them.
pop tops.
Yeah, all
right?
those. I don't know what
Something
they were.
like that.
It was like
And
in
you could-
every like
yeah, and
cereal box,
it was
and
like
you
for
could collect
schools.
them in
For
school.
some reason,
yeah.
it was weird. It was like a school thing. Like I don't
And
know.
you would give it to school, and you can
Get some
something,
prizes,
yeah.
right? So that's when the radio tells the listeners they're gonna get a secret message from little orphan Annie. And he's like, I can tell that tonight's message was really important. He hypes it up so much. So
Yeah.
he gets all the numbers and the codes, right? And he runs up to the bathroom. The only place, well, he quotes, the only place a 9-year-old can get to have some privacy to decode. I love the intensity of that scene, right? And then
Yeah.
especially with poor Randy in the trying to get to the restroom. He's like, oh, come on, Ralphie, I gotta go. And he's like, I'll be right out for crying out loud. And I'm like,
Yeah, he says the only room where a boy can be alone or something.
yeah, it's probably, you didn't hear me say it, fucker?
No, I heard you say it. I was just saying
the
that. That's what I
privacy to
heard.
decode.
Yeah.
You notice the sweet little tongue movements as he's like decoding it. He's like, Like, do you notice that? Like when he's
Oh
trying to
yeah,
get
yeah. He's
like,
like,
oh,
like,
like
yeah,
sweet.
like his lip.
And you hear the mom, come on, Ralphie, Randy's gotta go. Yeah, fucking poor Randy, dude. And then the code is be sure to drink your Ovaltine. And that's so disappointing. Like in my head, I was like, what the hell is Ovaltine?
Yeah,
anyway?
what was Ovaltine?
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
So Ovaltine is a brand of milk flavoring product with a malt extract, sugar, and whey. Some flavors also have cocoa. So I guess it's just like, it's like a mix,
It's like a chocolate
add it to
milk
your
kind
water.
of thing or
Exactly.
something.
Which is funny. Don't be sure to drink your Ovaltine. It's funny because like little secret messages like that, like say when you went to a restaurant as a kid and you get the kids menu and they do stuff like that, right? And you get the stupid messages like order this and like hamburger is your secret word.
Make sure you find the chicken nuggets or something stupid.
But for something like this, it's like, oh, this kid's waited all this time for this pen. And that's the only thing he gets. He's Ovaltine. He's all mad. And I love how fucking Randy walks in and just drops his pants all sweet, right, to go pee.
Oh yeah. I thought he really had to poop. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So we cut back to the dinner table, and the old man once again is fighting the furnace. And then Ralphie is just like, red cabbage. And the mom's like, you love red cabbage. Isn't it funny how, like, when we were younger, that parents or, like, your guardians just assumed you love something, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, you love that food. It's like in your head, it's like, I don't, but, like, that's all I got. I got to eat it, right? Like, it's like, no, I love meatloaf. So that's when this mom gets an idea that became a quote. A family controversy for years. That's what old Ralphie says. It became as quote. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. So the mom goes to the other room and something breaks. Old man just stops. He stops yelling and everything stops. And he runs up the stairs super quick. And the basement's like super smoky, right? Like what the fuck's going down on there? And he's like, what was that? He's like, what was that rap? He says, mom broke the leg lamp on accident, she claims. The old man is stunned. Don't you touch that. You're always jealous of this lamp. Jealous just because I won. He's so sad, right? And she's like, the mom's like, it's the ugliest lamp I've ever saw. And like, he can't think of anything to say. He's like, get the glue. She's like, we're out of glue. He's like, you used up all the glue on purpose. He's like super mad at her. So it's just hilarious. And like old Ralphie like tells us how he's trying to think of something clever to say, but he ends up just saying, not a finger. like that's all he says. And like walks away. Like, and he's like trying to reconstruct it. And then the mom's in the background kind of chuckling, right? But the old man's like not satisfied. He's not having it. And then like you hear old man Robbie's all, later that night, outside alone, he buried it next to the garage. He's all, I'm pretty sure I heard taps playing. So I can see that, right?
Yeah, I can see
that
it too.
happening. It's so great.
Lucky guy, dude. He lost his most precious.
He lost his prize.
He lost his
it was
prize.
sad.
Most precious possession, dude.
That's hilarious.
He freaking just buried it.
So, we cut to the bullies in front of the school. And it's funny how the bullies are asking the kids, like, come here. And then, like, to Ralphie's like, he runs inside, right? And so does Schwartz. But Flick stays there and he's like, all right. And walks up to them. He's like, and as soon as he grabs them, he's like, Uncle, Uncle. They always keep saying that. Uncle. Yeah. But like, he should have just ran too. I would have just ran for it.
But I think if they run, it's gonna be worse for them. You know what I mean?
Which it does. Like you'll see, which it comes back later. We'll get to that in a second. So we cut to in class. Flick has a black eye, and so the kids are getting their essays back. Ralphie gets a C+ with a note that says, "You'll shoot your eye out." Yet again, that happens. So Ralphie has another vision. Miss Shields is a witch, and the mom is there too with a jester costume for some reason.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like a little thing.
I don't know. And she's like, you'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out. There's like this taunting him, right? So he's sad. He's mad, right? He's upset. So that's when we cut to Ralphie heading home, not getting chased this time, but he does get cornered by Scott and Grover to get chased again, perhaps. But he's not in the mood. So Ralphie beats the shit out of Scott.
The way he tackles that kid.
Yeah, he tackles her. Like he's just like, because like the kid's like, you're gonna cry, just like laugh, ugly ass kid. And then Grover doesn't really try to help. He like kind of walks out there, pushes, and then like fucking Ralphie pushes him all sweet.
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
hits him back.
I'm telling my dad, and he takes off, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's down for it, right? Scott's getting what he deserves. And that's when Ralphie starts talking the gibberish like his dad. So obviously it's the cut words.
And then everyone comes in to stare.
Yeah, they're all, what did he just say? Like, they're all like, what? Like, oh, he's the man. And that's when Randy brings his mom, and where she pulls him off, and Ralphie starts to cry. And like, it's such a little touching moment in a weird way. Like, Ralphie's like pissed, looks at his mom, just like feels vulnerable, right? And just like drops and starts crying. I like that scene a lot for some reason.
Same, yeah.
Scott gets up all sad that he's all
what's it? Schwartz and the other kid. They look at him and they're like, "Wow, I can't believe we let him beat us up," kind of thing,
Yeah, it's
like at that point they saw him.
They
vulnerable,
knew they won,
did.
right? That's it.
Yeah,
we're not going to see Scott anymore.
Yeah.
So Ralphie gets cleaned off by his mom and goes to lay down. He's for sure tripping out, what his dad's going to think. And it's funny. I love this scene too because he cut to the mom and Randy is under the sink crying, right? He's like,
"Yeah,
Daddy's going to kill Ralphie." His little brother just cares for his big bro.
Yeah.
And I love how the mom leaves him under there with his little milk. You want some milk? He's like, yeah. And he's just whimpering under there. It's so cute.
I'll see you later.
She's like, yeah. That's so cute. So the old man gets home. Dog's following him again, arriving in time for dinner. But a strange thing happens. Mom protects Ralphie and doesn't sell him out. There we go. Shout out to mom again. Caring for her son. She's like, I know he learned his. I can see the guilt in his face, right?
He's like, I'm starving. What's for dinner? That's what
he comes in. I'm starving. What's for dinner? He's all, anything happened today? He's all, what else happened today? But they don't tell him shit. He's oh, nothing. Ralphie got in a fight. He's a fight. He's all, boys. They did a little thing. And that was it. So that was a good, cute little moment as well.
I wonder, how did he, how would he, obviously, why didn't he get mad that he still got in a fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he probably just thought it was like his friends,
just
screwing
little fight,
around.
Yeah, but it's I think.
But I feel like the dad, he probably would have been mad, but at the same time, he's like he's defending himself. What I mean? Like he's the bully, school bully, man. So
do you think at this point? So I don't know how to explain this. So obviously he gets the rifle at the end and all that stuff. We'll get to that. But do you think that the dad is kind of acknowledging that Ralphie is becoming something much an older kid? To own that rifle, because throughout this whole movie, you're seeing him kind of it's only a month of this this happening. I don't know how long, but it's the Christmas time, right? So he's seeing this kid kind of grow up and kind of change his ways and sees. Do you think that's kind of why the dad's oh, you know what, now he deserves it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always thought about it. But we'll get into it. But go ahead.
So we're cut to Ralphie back in bed, still thinking about his gun. But then he has a great idea to ask the head honcho, Santa himself. So that's when we cut to the family watching that sweet parade again. Where flying monkeys are all attacking Mickey. Remember, they're like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy, huh? Wizard of Oz and Mickey Mouse. That's kind of interesting to have that all together,
Because Wizard of Oz had just came out around that time, and Mickey obviously, I think they were kind of starting around that time. I mean, he was a little older, of course, but yeah, it's a trip, and this is popularity. You don't see those quality parades like that anymore, bro. So it's funny because the parents are getting a kick out of this, right? Way more than the kids. And I feel like that's, because that's the only time they can have their kids shut up and pay attention like something else, and they don't have to worry about it. Except for Ralphie, obviously he's being a little shit. He's like, "Come on, let's go." So we cut to Ralphie seeing Santa and realizing how huge this line is. He gets in line. They're all, see, it's not that long, and he gets in. They're like, "Hey, kid, the line ends here. It starts back there." I'm like, ah.
It's the beginning of the freaking mall, I think.
The
front door kind
of
looks
super far down, and that's a nice scene like that when meeting Santa, right? And then you hear the kids just going screaming, right? All it looks up and they're all like, ah, foreshadowing that slide. And I love how he gets to the back of the line. I love that kid that's in front of him. He turns around and he goes, "I like Santa," and he's smiling, all sweet, right? And the kid's and then Ralphie's like, "Cool," and she's still staring at him, it's weird. And he's wearing a weird aviator. I don't know what that was,
It's an aviator cap, yeah,
something like that, right?
He's just one of those weird kids.
Yeah, and then again, I like the Wizard of Oz. I like the Tin Man. And Ralphie's like, leave me alone. He's all tripping out about it. And then even the witch comes up to Ralphie and she's like, "Leave me alone. I'm thinking." So we cut to Santa and his elf. And then Santa's like, "If they think I'm working 1 minute past 9, he can kiss my foot." Oh, ho, ho, ho. Another sketchy Santa. I'm sure most of these Santas are like that, right?
They always do that in movies. They're always a sketchy Santa. They're always why is dicks. That a thing?
I mean, because it's just a regular guy just trying to make some money, right? Yeah, it's imagine how annoying that is.
Then why get the job?
That's what, yeah, exactly. So all the kids are freaking out on the slide of doom. And then that kid that's in front of Ralphie goes, and I think it was a she, immediately starts screaming. As soon as he sits on the lap,
yeah.
"Ah!" Why is everyone so terrified, right? They're super excited to see Santa, but they're afraid of him. Yeah. But I'll tell you why in a second. So now it's Randy's turn. then those elves are so aggressive, right? Come on, kid.
Yeah,
And
the
like,
lady.
and then of course Randy starts crying. Like, what do you expect from Randy? So now it's Ralphie's turn, and that's when the elf, again super aggressive. She's like, come on, and so this is why I said that thing about the fear, because you see Ralphie's perspective of going on to Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
It's like his view, and like he's like getting spun around. All of a sudden, Santa's
Yeah.
like super in his face. She's like, ho, ho, and it does look a little scary.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then you got that elf that looks pissed, like looking at him too. Like, it looks a little creepy. Like,
yeah, it goes. Remember, well, it goes back to how we were talking about like Matilda and how they filmed. Like, remember I was telling you how like Danny DeVito looks to the little girl and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, so they did that, and
we're filming from the kids.
I always found that creepy,
perspective.
dude. Like, and this is a random thing that I wanted to say. This scene right here is the one scene I remember of this whole movie.
Oh, really?
Remember I told you I didn't watch this movie.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that I remember. One of the things I remember.
What a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene.
I think it's probably because it was so fucking creepy.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, because it's scary, dude.
It is a little scary.
Did you cry when you sat on Santa's lap? I think I did.
remember sitting on his lap.
I was a
to be
crybaby,
honest.
dude. So I think I did. Honestly.
I just want a little PlayStation 1.
PlayStation.
I'm fired. And then that's when Ralphie chokes up. And then he's like, and then Santa's like, how about a nice football? And he's like, football? Yeah. So what was I thinking? That's when he stops himself from going down the slide, and he tells him that he wants that BB gun. And of course, Santa, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. He goes, ho, ho, ho.
He puts his foot.
Right?
He
his
kicks
boot
him.
in his face.
Yeah.
And then Ralphie
Oh,
just
you boot.
last hope is fail, and and it's funny. The parents come back, and the kids are just laying there, right? They look so defeated,
Yeah.
like in the little snow or whatever that is. So we cut back to the fam at home, plugging in the Christmas tree, and then the ship blows out the whole house. And then again, old man Ralphie, the old man can replace fuses faster than a jackrabbit on a date. And of course, he's like, always in competition with himself. And then they tell him, about, oh, you guys gotta go to sleep. And I love how they race up the stairs. They don't want to miss their chance with Santa. And I love how Ralphie tackles Randy on the way up. He's like,
Yeah.
they just fall, right? So we cut to Christmas morning. And it's like, so I was thinking about this. It's like, they waited till Christmas Eve to put the tree up. And then I love how there's just even more snow on Christmas morning. Like, it's funny. Like it knew, like it was Christmas.
Yeah, it was
right?
going to be, yeah.
The kids run down the stairs, And I didn't remember doing this too, because it's coming us and you and I coming from a Mexican background. We celebrate till Christmas Eve, so I guess we don't really have that. I don't really have that memory of like waking up and running down to my presents. Maybe like we'd have a more intimate thing with like my mom and stuff, like which is presents between us. But that was it. I mean, like,
it wasn't I never had that either. It was always we waited till 12 midnight or like 10 p.m.
And then it's like you're just like super tired, but then you open your presents and then you're up, and then all of a sudden it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, I want to play with everything. It's like, now you gotta go to sleep.
I think that was like a ploy of the parents, because like we would sleep in because we slept so late.
Yeah.
And so they would wake up, and then you would wake up to them making food.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like something hot.
And it just felt that Christmas day just felt different, right?
Yeah,
that day just feel, and I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it as well.
Almost there, friends.
I'm all smiling now.
I know you. So the kids run down the stairs, and then I love little Randy's reaction. He's like, "Wow, look over there! That's mine! Fire truck! Oh boy, that's mine!"
The fire truck, it's always coming back.
Always that fire truck, and then I remember as a kid too, like before Christmas itself, like I'd always scope out the tree, like looking at like, what's addressed to me?
Yeah.
Like, this, and I'm like, this is for my mom. Wait a minute, why does Santa and my mom have the same handwriting? Oh well, and then throw
Yeah.
So it was a little weird, right?
So it's funny because I would pick up the gift and like shake it
a little bit,
and then my parents or my mom would get mad, and she's like, leave that, the height, or leave it there.
You're not gonna get your present.
You're not gonna get your gift. And I was like, kid, I wanted to see what it was.
That's so funny.
You could tell what was gonna be the sweater.
Right?
After a while, you kind of know as a kid.
So that's when the parents come down, and they have a sweet little tradition where someone plays Santa, which means someone's distributing the gifts. The fresh present, the kids, like you said, the sweater, they get the socks. Then they look at each other and just toss them back, right? And then so this is another toy. Randy's stoked that he got this Zeppelin. And like this fucking toy Zeppelin he's playing with, and he loves it. Like later on, it shows him sleeping with it. Like it's so funny. Like he's getting down with it. And then you hear the dad. He's like, a can of Sminozes. And I looked that up too. It's like a polish for a motor, your car.
For a car.
And then Ralphie gets a sweet little bunny outfit that he's forced to put on.
It's for his aunt got it for him.
His poor kid, and like the mom's like, Ralphie, you put that on this minute for your aunt, and like and then
She made it for him, I think, right?
Yeah, she made it for him.
Yeah, she made it for him.
And then the mom she's like, well, Ralphie's up there. I'm going to play Santa. Gives that bowling ball to the dad. And he puts it on his nuts. And he goes, thanks a lot. Like his voice is super high up. And he's like, oh, a blue ball. It's referencing the current state of his balls. So Ralphie comes back down in his sweet little bunny outfit, right? And he's like, and so after seeing that outfit, I'm like, oh, I know I don't get Ernie for Christmas.
That's sweet. Dude, I would wear that shit.
I know you're asking.
Yeah, dude. You know what's crazy is last year or 2 years ago, I took a picture and I had a little outfit, but it was a reindeer.
Yeah, I remember that. Fucking sweet. That was a Christmas card, right?
It was a Christmas card, yeah.
I'll tell you this later. This is for secret things. Just kidding.
Oh.
I have a Christmas card coming to you as well.
Oh.
So Ralphie comes down in the sweet bunny costume. Okay, I already said that. Shout out to Dad for telling him to take it off, right? He's like, he looks like a pink nightmare.
I know.
The dad,
dude, honestly, the dad is kind of like, there's like this
like you
dynamic
said, the growing up
between them.
thing,
Yeah,
right? Like he's like,
yeah.
don't wear that shit. Like,
he's only when your aunt is here, kind of.
Yeah, she's like, okay, you can only put it on your aunt's here, and he takes it off all sweet. So we cut to the end of the presents, and Randy's knocked the fuck out, right? Next to his Zeppelin still. So Ralphie's still up with his parents, disappointed they didn't get what he wants. But the old man sees something behind the desk. Another present? And the music of hype as he approaches the gift, right? And, the mom doesn't really know. But I love this, like how we're talking about the dad and the son. Like, I love how excited the dad is for him to open it, right? Like he's like, tear it, like, he's like doing gestures for him to like tear it out. Yeah. And then even how to load it, he's like, do you know how to load it? He's like, yeah, just put it out. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he's like, and then that, the mom's all upset, and he's like, "Can I go play with it?" And he, like the way he does it, all sweet, right? Remember, he's like, does like a sweet run, and he's like, I had one when I was 8 years old. And then mom's like, "Don't shoot any animals or birds." And the old man's like, "Except the bumpkins and dogs."
I'm glad he said that too. I was about to say it too. Yeah. He's like, "Except the bumpkins and dogs."
And then so the mom pulls out the turkey, and here comes another accolade for the old man. He is a turkey junkie, old Ralphie says, and apparently it's well known in the Midwest. I don't know. He's like, it's well known in the Midwest that my dad's an old turkey junkie.
Who the hell, yeah.
And he's a bona fide golly turkey Canosaurus freak or something like that.
Carnivorous freak or something.
That's fucking funny. And then we cut to Ralphie outside shooting his gun, and guess what happens? Shoots his eye out. Not really. He hurts his glasses, but basically. So you see the old man, and then we cut to the old man inside. He trying to sneak that piece of turkey, and then runs like a scared dog when the rifle catches him. He's like, oh, and he takes off, right? And then we cut back to Ralphie.
What are they waiting for to eat? I don't like.
For maybe everyone getting the sides and maybe just getting everything prepped, right?
Makes sense because like. Oh, it's so sad.
And
it's such a beautiful turkey.
It is. Like, and then we cut back to Ralphie stepping on his glasses, and as he was trying to look for them, he comes up with a sweet plan to say that an icicle fell and broke his glasses. That's when he starts crying, and he tells his mom the story, and she just takes him upstairs past the old man, and she's like, "Just read your funnies." And that's funny. That's funny that he said call it funnies. Because like I've heard my dad say like, "Oh, the funnies! I gotta read the funnies!" Like it's so hilarious. So Ralphie is stoked that he pulled it off, right? He even smiles and he's like looking at the camera.
Yeah.
So we cut back to the old man trying to sneak a piece, like he's not gonna get caught. Like he's not gonna get caught that the piece is missing off the turkey, right?
Yeah.
And then he like acts all concerned. He's like, "What's going on up there?" But he's like, it's just the way he does it is great.
Dude, I do that.
And then she's like, "Don't you dare turk that turkey!" But he still takes a little taste anyway.
Dude, I do that, and Dan gets mad at me.
I know,
too.
right?
It's so good. You want to eat?
Oh, it's so good. It's like for some reason that little taste is just as satisfying as like the meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels.
So he goes back to read his funnies, and this is where the disaster strikes. All those damn dogs run inside and attack his turkey, and he's like, and they all run and goes, "Sons of bitches, bumpkasses!" And then, they're all so, and that's so sad. Like, oh,
dude,
imagine how that happened. Like, what would you do? Like,
I would be so,
and especially on Christmas, nothing's open except for the people that don't celebrate, like the Chinese, like which they go to.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though.
Tell me.
That's kind of neat, and I like. That's why I kept saying the dynamic of the mother and the husband, or I mean, the father and the mother, right? Is that like the mother, like essentially she sees it, ruins her whole day. She's an emotional wreck. But the dad thinks about it logically and goes, "You know what? We're gonna go eat." You know what I mean? Like
we're going out to eat.
The way he says it, right? But like that's
exactly.
Like,
that's
how
he's got to keep. He's got to keep through the peace.
Yeah.
Obviously Randy's probably like, "Sweet, I don't got to eat no food."
Yeah.
So that's when they cut to the Chinese restaurant.
How racist is this?
That's what I was saying. Good old fashioned racism, right? They're like, "'Tis the season to be holly." And then the owner's like, "No. It's la 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 la." And then they're like, They still try to do it, and then they try to sing another song, right?
Go to the kitchen.
No, they try to sing another song. Then they go, jingle bells, jingle bells. Like they're still fucking up, and the owner's like, yeah, go to the kitchen and bring the food.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned racism.
That's
right?
so crazy. When I saw that, I was like, damn.
Right.
And this is such a like beloved.
Right now, if that happened, like, oh no, that's not what I said.
Cancel.
So they bring out that sweet duck, right? And then the dad's like, and then, the mom's like, oh, like in disgust, right?
Yeah.
And then the dad's like, it's smiling at me, and they all like start laughing, like it's like funny. And then the fucking guy just chops that shit, chops his head off, all crazy. And they're like, they all like trip out a little bit, and they're like, well, you gotta accept it. This is it. But the family still cheers, right, when all the food comes out. Oh, yay! And it's kind of sad that they're all still working because they're the only. And it's sad, dude. Like they're the only people in there.
Why are the
it's
Chinese?
Literally a whole staff.
A lot of Chinese like restaurants are always open.
I think they just. I don't
like
think they just celebrate. They probably have. Like, I don't think they just celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't obviously don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, everyone's got their holidays, their beliefs and all that. So we cut back to their house where the mom and dad enjoy the snow falling, having themselves a drink. They're gonna have some sexy time for sure.
That's what I was
We're
thinking,
pushing the beds together.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We're connecting tonight.
Exactly. And then we cut to the kids fast asleep, happy as can be. Randy with that freaking Zeppelin, and Ralphie with his gun, right? And then a Merry Christmas was had by all. The end.
Rah 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 rah.
So like you did kind of mention it earlier,
Go.
in the beginning, but you enjoyed this movie. So what would you rate it? Like it, love it, or rewind it?
And then this is a trip, dude. I like this movie. I liked it a lot. It's just a like for me.
Okay.
So I want to get into it.
Okay, get into it.
I freaking I love Christmas. Like this is a good movie. Like this is a great movie. Like you guys should definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. I didn't feel super Christmassy for it. I just felt like this is a story about a boy wanting a toy. You know what I mean? And
but that's also Jingle All the Way. The kid wants his toy.
Yeah,
but it goes to the lengths of the father.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, it's different.
I think it's just I think I resonated with that movie a little more.
Yeah, of course.
But this one was
and I
different.
would say the same thing. I love Jingle All the Way more.
But yeah, so but watching it, honestly, I enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I did because remember I told you this is what I was trying to tell you was watching it, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna hate this movie. I don't want to watch it. And then I was regretting it. I was gonna text you, let's not do this movie. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I didn't want to do it because I was like, I'm not gonna hate this. And then I was watching it and I was I saw it twice. So I was laying in bed watching it on my phone. And then I saw it again on TV, on a big TV. But when I was on bed, dude, I was laying down, dude. I was laughing. I was having such a great time. I was smiling, dude.
For you?
Yeah, because I was like,
That's
this
cute,
is a good
right?
movie. It's a cute movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I like this movie. I really liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. And I don't think saying like it, love it, all that, we're not rating it as it was the worst movie ever, I enjoyed it. I would watch it again, but it's not going to be a rewind it where I'm going to go back and you know what I mean?
Interesting.
What about you, man?
I would say it's a rewind.
Okay.
Just because I've kind of grew up with this movie through my mom and stuff, and so it's kind of has that special feel for me. She loves it too. She loves this movie.
Okay.
And when it would play for 24 hours, she had it just on all day.
That's funny, yeah.
And like I said, we walk into it. I didn't watch it last year, so watching it again this year, I was happy. Like you said, it's heartwarming. It's just a great.
Definitely.
It's just a family oriented movie. It's just, and like you said, nothing really goes on, it's just literally it's like an everyday kid, just trying to get his present, and it's a rewinder for me.
That's good. I'm glad. Well,
but out of the Christmas movie, I do enjoy Jingle All the Way better so far.
Definitely so far, yeah.
That was the second Quotables of Christmas. Hashtag
5 Quotables of Christmas.
Yeah. 5 Quotables of Christmas.
Yeah.
So next week we are doing a classic that we both. This is just a staple for everyone. I think we're doing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version, of course.
This is one of my
not the newest one, the Minions version.
What is it? DreamWorks, huh?
DreamWorks, yeah. So
this is a Ron Howard directed.
Yes, this is your favorite. So we already know where you're at on the rating system.
Yeah,
Why even ask?
I know. This is crazy. Let me tell you something, man.
Tell me.
I've seen this movie 1,000 times, dude. I like a lot. This is my favorite, not just Christmas movie, but favorite movie of all time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love this movie.
We'll get more into it.
We will.
That, but that's great. So yes, Christmas Story we recommend, even though we
Definitely,
have
yeah.
both different opinions on it. But
Yeah.
obviously it's a movie you should watch. It's
No, yeah.
definitely a good holiday. You should add to your holiday cheer.
Yeah.
Um,
This is random. Did you know that the guy who made this movie, he did Porky's as well? Have you ever seen Porky's?
no, I have
It's
not.
like an old '80s like horn dog movie. It's you know like
Oh, you
raunchy
know what? I've heard
comedies?
of it. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of
so
it.
it's like a really raunchy comedy. I've seen it like years ago. I
Uh-huh.
don't remember it, but so he made that movie, did really well,
Uh-huh.
and then all the money he got from it, he used to
Make
make
this?
this movie by himself.
Oh wow.
So that's why like this movie is like so classic. It's like not owned by anyone but him. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
true.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that.
it's random. Look,
the
dude,
more you learn.
I know, dude. And then like
The mind of a boy.
the mind of a bird. And then the freaking I was looking into this because I was wondering where they filmed this, and it's like they filmed it in 2 different locations, like Cleveland and some other spot.
Uh-huh.
But I guess that house that they did the primary, the house,
Uh-huh.
it's sold on eBay. Someone bought it, and then they freaking made it a museum of the movie
Oh no way.
because they were such big fans of it.
That's crazy.
So you can go see
That's
it
a trip.
somewhere.
That's a
Yeah.
trip.
So one of
'Cause
these
you
days
just
we'll
you
visit.
just saw
dude.
some decorations, right? Of people with.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's like a new thing that people are doing is like putting like a projector, and it has like this big old like.
Wait, was it
inflatable
playing
thing.
the movie?
Yeah, it was playing the movie,
Oh,
but it was in
shoot.
black and white. I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
it was, but it was
A classic.
a classic.
Maybe
And
it's
then
just
you
trying
could
to-
see the leg on their window. Like,
Oh,
it had
that's
the,
sweet.
The fan. I
What
mean,
a
the
trip!
lamp.
What a trip!
It was a trip. But yeah.
Cool, man. I want you to put my leg in your window. Yeah. So next week we are back with the Grinch. We hope you are enjoying our holiday series because we are as well. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for everyone who are listening. We're getting a lot of positive responses, which is great.
Yeah.
But we're also open to negative. If you have anything you want to add, or maybe
Any
something we could
suggestions?
change,
Yeah.
then we're all here for it. We are at Quotables Cast on Twitter. Once again, with the no, it's just
No, it's just
Quotable Cast.
Quotables Cast, yeah.
No underscore anymore. Yes, Quotables Cast on Twitter. Feel free to shoot us, give a shout out,
Mhm.
what have you. We'll really appreciate it. But yes, thank you again for listening. We will see you next week, and that's all I got. Anything else, Ernie?
No, I'm good. Let's go. I don't know where we're
Let's
going.
go. All right, guys. Thanks again. Bye bye.
Bye.